Lecture DO5, facade components. Theme to tackle in this one is ventilation. Facade functions are going to be content of this one. Influences of ventilation system, ventilation types, and ventilation systems, which we are dealing with. Functions of facades, as we already discussed it several times. Some protection, cooling and heating may be integrated into a facade light to be allowed to penetrate the facade, or blocked off. The view is part of that one, and then ventilation, which is the theme of this small lecture. Influences of ventilation system. They're made to provide healthy air. They are made to control the temperature, the indoor temperature, and they're made to remove pollution, to exchange the air in our built environment. We do divide natural ventilation, mechanical ventilation, and hybrid solutions to be used. Natural ventilation, the outdoor air is driven through natural forces through the building openings, so we get air in and we have to get the air out. Luve and leve are directions of the wind flow. The mechanical ventilation is a mechanical system which then moves air via a van through our system. And hybrid solutions, you may have a chimney which exhausts with natural forces, but you may need also van to move air into the system. All this needs to be integrated into our building envelopes. Ventilation systems, which we like to discuss. Natural ventilation, the gap ventilation, so a small gap placed somewhere at the window, which we're going to see in a minute in some details. The window itself, an openable window with all the percentages of ventilation opportunities, and chimneys. Chimneys being implemented in the building and then exhausting the air out of the building as a system. This is a typical gap ventilation. You see where the arrows are. There's a small grid which allows air to penetrate through the system at the window frame, which could be constant ventilation, which could be left open during rain situation, but we're also able to close it as system. Then obviously all the windows, the tiltable windows with all the opportunities to allow the air to penetrate our facade system, with the percentages of openings which we see. Obviously an entirely open window is 100%, while when it is tilted it may be just 25% as an air inlet. And you also can imagine, if you have two of these tilting next to each other, then it's not 2 times 25, it's actually reducing the numbers. And then the chimney, this is a solar driven chimney which is built in front of a facade. It's this device here, which exhausts the air from the building. So there's an air inlet in the building, and then via a piping system this exhausts the air out of the building, and you see it's also part of the building envelope being integrated there. Mechanical ventilation, it's the typical HVAC systems which are installed. This is a louver installed in a simple window. We also see the American HVAC system, so cooling devices being installed in a sliding window as a system. Or we go to then hybrid solutions. Looking at this one, it's a double facade at this area of the slide. Then there's the heating and cooling device, which then exhausts the air into the system. And as we know, this entire building, we have some preheated air in the double facade and the cavity in the double facade. Then this is conditioned, and that's the mechanical part in here, and then exhaust through the building and then out of the solar chimneys, which are brought in position here. They have some winter gardens here, and by that it is an artificial and natural ventilation system, why we call this a hybrid system. Here's some literature where this links to, and with the last slide I stop this.